Welcome to my new video. In my previous video, I have taught you about Gandhi and his contribution to education. That was the first chapter of Unit 1 of 12th education book. This is chapter 2 of Unit 1. And the name of this chapter is Pandit Gopabandhu and his contribution to education. So, Gopabandhu Das was a great educationalist and a prominent nationalist. His system of education came to be called as Satyavadi system. So the system of education introduced by Pandit Gopabandhu Das is called Satyavadi system. So let's learn something about his life. He was born on 9th October 1877. His village name is Suando in Puri district, Odisha. Take a screenshot. His father's name was Daitari Das, a pious Brahmin of Kaushika Gotra. So Gopabandhu Das was born in a Brahmin family of Kaushika Gotra. He belonged to a middle class family. He passed matriculation examination in 1899 from the Puri Jilla School and joined Ravinshaw College to study arts. After graduation, he took his law degree in 1906. Like this, he completed his formal education. First, he passed his matriculation in 1899 from Puri Jilla School. Then, to learn arts, he joined Ravinshaw College, and after graduation, he took his degree, a law degree, in 1906. Take a screenshot of this paragraph. This will be very useful for exam. Then, Pandit Gopabandhu's educational thoughts. Universal education. What were his thoughts about universal education? How education should be? First point is education should be inexpensive. This point is called inexpensive education. What is inexpensive education? Gopabandhu was fully aware that India, being a poor country, cannot pay for the education of the entire population, and therefore ways have to be found to reduce the cost of education. Thus, he experimented with the Satyavadi Vanavidyalaya, or the school in the grove, on the lines of the old Gurukula system with no school building at all. So, during Gopabandhu's time, Bharat was under British rule, and Britishers took all our wealth to their country, and we became poor. So, the masses, the common people, had no money to educate themselves and their children. So Gopabandhu thought to experiment Satyavadi Vanavidyalaya system like Gurukula system of Bharat, which had no school buildings at all. In this system, a child had not to pay money for his or her education. This is called inexpensive education. Let's go to the second point. Second point is, in education system, universal education system, there should be idealistic teachers. What is idealistic teachers? Gopabandhu believed that it is not the costly school building but the idealistic and dedicated teachers which make a good school. He remarks, a school doesn't consist of only buildings, chairs, and tables. There must be well educated, sincere, and idealistic teachers. So, Gopabandhu bothered about the quality and the dedication of teachers, and his philosophy said that it is not the big buildings, costly chairs, costly tables, furnitures which makes a school, but it is the dedication and the quality of teachers which makes a school a school. Third point, practical education. Gopabandhu was very critical of the prevailing system of education, which doesn't equip the individual to meet the requirements of life successfully. He wanted education to be practical, which should make the students economically independent. He said, the present system of education has failed to help the young men of the country to prepare themselves for the struggle of life. So, Gopabandhu, in the philosophy of Gopabandhu, the education should be given in a manner by which a child can learn how to earn to live a good life, to be economically independent. At that time, the education system of that period was not well equipped, well empowered to teach a student, a child, how to be economically free, how to get economical freedom. So, in his system of education, he gave efforts to meet the economical independence of a child who will be a young man or a young woman in future. Fourth point, religious and moral education. Pandit Gopabandhu Das believed in the all-round development of the personality of an individual through education. Though the students must be taught some craft or skill in order to enable them to earn their living, his concept of education was mostly that of liberal education. He did not aim at producing craftsmen but civilized and cultured individuals. In this connection, he remarks there also a great need of religious and moral instruction, for morality has value even in material activity like trade and commerce. So, Gopabandhu Das did not did not give importance only to practical education but to religious and moral education, because in his philosophy it is not right to produce only craftsmen but civilized and cultured individuals, because without civilizational and cultural teaching, a man cannot be a man of character. And he also said that morality has a great need in material activities like trade and commerce. Because without morality, the trade and the commerce will be corrupted. Fourth point is over. Fifth point, social service and national integration. Pandit Gopabandhu did not stress individuality in the social perspective. Individual is a part and parcel of society, and therefore education would enable the individual to perform his social functions as efficiently and successfully as possible. So, Gopabandhu said that individual is the part and parcel of society, and by good education, the individual can function very efficiently and successfully for the well being of the society. Sixth point, women education. Gopabandhu was a liberal as well as a revolutionary. In the backward and traditional society of Odisha, it required a great courage to advocate women's education. He was a champion of female education. So, Gopabandhu gave stress on educating women because at the time in Odisha, women are not educated like men. Seventh point is mother tongue as the medium of instruction. This is similar in Gandhi and Gopabandhu Das. Mother tongue as the medium of instruction and craft education. These two aspects are same in Gandhi's philosophy of education and Pandit Gopabandhu's philosophy of education. Now we will learn the main features of the system, Satyavadi system of education. First feature is open air school. Satyavadi school is an open air school and therefore it is called the Grove School. India cannot afford to spend huge amounts of money on the construction of school buildings. Thus, Gopabandhu opines there are several ways of reducing educational expenditure without deteriorating educational standards, and for this attempts and being made to establish Grove School on the lines of old Gurukula system. So Satyavadi school is open air school. And why it is open air school? Because at that time India became so poor because of the cruelty of Britishers and the loots and the tortures of Britishers. That brutality, that torture, that loot made us very poor. So we could not afford to spend huge amounts of money on the construction of school buildings, furnitures, and so on. So Gopabandhu gave opinion that education can be continued without deteriorating the educational standards by giving education on the lines of old Gurukula system. In old Gurukulas, there were no big, huge buildings. The Guru gave teachings to the Sishyas in natural environment, in jungle, in open air. So Gopabandhu also followed that system and that is called open air school of Satyabadi system of education. Second feature is no discrimination on any account. In traditional Indian society, education was considered to be the privilege of only upper castes. The lower castes were denied the opportunity. The Satyavadi school is for all, and there is no discrimination made among the students on any account whatsoever. So when Britishers came to India, there was no such discrimination. But to divide us and to rule us, they threw the seeds of discrimination in our society, and they created upper caste and lower caste to divide us and to rule us brutally. So when Gopabandhu was there, at that time discrimination was on its peak, and he made such a system of education where there would be no discrimination on any account whatsoever. Then free education. Satyavadi school aimed at providing free education to the students. To start with, a minimum fee was charged from the students, but after some time the fee was totally abolished at the instance of Mahatma Gandhi. So firstly, when Satyavadi school started, they needed some amount of money to run the system, the school, the Bana Vidyalaya. So they charged a little amount of money. But after the instance of Gandhi, they abolished that little amount of fee also, and the Bana Vidyalaya and the Satyavadi system of education become totally free. Then ideal teachers. Gopabandhu put very high premium on the quality of the teachers. He said a school doesn't consist of only buildings, chairs and tables. There must be well educated, sincere and idealistic teachers. And we know that. Then all-round development of personality. Satyavadi system of education aims at the development of all aspects of the personality of the child. The system established character building, inculcation of society, inculcation of social virtues, qualities of good citizenship, patriotism, brotherhood, and spirituality. These all aspects of life should be developed. This is the philosophy of Satyavadi system of education by Gopabandhu Das. Then the feature is teaching craft or skills to earn livelihood. So the features of Satyavadi system of education is finished, and also the educational thoughts of Gopabandhu about universal education is finished. Then there is one more feature, very important feature of Satyavadi system of education in Satyavadi Bana Vidyalaya, that community living in hostel. So Gopabandhu opposed discrimination on the basis of anything. So he created a hostel where all the students, all the children lived together like a society, like a community. So that is called community living in hostel. The Satyavadi school hostel was organized in an ideal way with the aim of bringing about an all-round development of the students. The boarders developed a number of good qualities through such programs as debate, declamation, excursions, community dinner, and cultural programs. So, Gopabandhu, what you call, established a system where there are debate programs, declamation programs, excursions, community dinner, dining together, cultural programs, which created unity among the students, like a well, what you call, like a community spirit was created among the children, among the students of Satyabadi Banavidyalaya. So I think you all are well understood about Satyabadi system of education. I am reminding you what I taught. So the what are the thoughts of Gopabandhu Das on universal education? First, inexpensive education, idealistic teachers, practical education, religious and moral education, social services and national integration, women education. Then, what are the main features of Satyavadi system of education? The main features are open air schooling, no discrimination on any account, free education, ideal teachers, all around development of personality, teaching craft or skills, and community living in hostel. By reminding all these things, you can easily answer the long questions of education which will come on this chapter. So in my next video I will teach you about another educational philosophers who is Sri Aurobindo Ghosh. So if you liked the video, then like, share the video with your friends and those who are interested, and subscribe the channel, press the bell icon if you have not subscribed. Thank you for watching the video.